Hey YouTube, Survival Every Day. This is part one, or excuse me, part two really. The first one was kind of like an introduction, but this is part of the AR pistol build. Well, whenever you're going to be putting on, well, let me back up here. This is a controversial subject, I guess, if you read on the forums or if you read on the internet. And you're doing an AR build, do you need to check the headspace? And people are like, no, you don't. Other people are like, yeah, you do. For me, I'm going to do it because this is a, I want to say, I don't want to say an unknown barrel, but it's a different barrel than what is going to be matched up to the upper receiver. So I'm going to do this real quick and show you my method of checking the headspace. And again, mine is probably not the right way, but it's the way I do it. I've spoken with individuals and they've kind of given me some direction in checking headspace, and so I've done it before and it's worked. So anyway, real quick, you need, when you're checking headspace, you need a no-go and a go head gauge. Now I'm using a Climber, and they're very, these are kind of like a recommended brand to go with. Now again, with trying to find parts for ARs, I had a hell of a time trying to find these. As you can see, they've got 5.56 on there. You can use a go gauge with a 223, but you can't use a no-go gauge with a 223. And I was going to buy a go 223, and then I couldn't find a 5.56 anywhere. So I ended up finally finding a 5.56 go. And by the way, they sell these in packages, and I couldn't find them in a package. So I ended up going with the 5.56 go and waited for the no-go 5.56 to come available, and it did. And then obviously, so I bought them separately, and it's a little bit more expensive. And then at the same time that the no-go gauge came available, they came available as a package, and they're a little bit cheaper. But so I've got these. There's a couple of companies that make them, and like I said, the Climber is the one to go with, I personally believe. Anyway, so, and these are designed to SAMI specs, and so they're very precise machined. I want to call it slug, but really it's a positioned piece of machinery. So what you want to do with the no-go is you want to pop, excuse me, the go. You want to pop it in. You want to remove your bolt from your bolt carrier group. And I have not removed the extractor, and the reason being is that I'm checking it. I'm checking the barrel outside of the receiver, and this is probably the easiest way to do it and the better way to do it, I believe. So what you want to do is you want to line up your feed ramps, and you want your extractor basically at the 1 o'clock position with your barrel stud at the very top here. And what you're doing is you're basically you're imitating the barrel. It goes in and twist it and keeping it lined up, and then come back out with it. And I don't have it lined up, that's the problem. There you go, and it pulled it out. But basically what you're doing is, I'll try that again. You're lining up that. You're lining up the fins with the cutouts in here, and you're trying to create a even pressure in, like the bolt pressure, and you're turning, and then you pull out. That is the proper go gauge method that I use. Now again, I'm sure there's somebody out here that's probably going to say, well, that's not the way to do it. So, but then you're going to use the no-go gauge, pop it in, and the deal is with this, again, you want the extractor at the 1 o'clock position, line up the pins, and you're going to put it in. I'm trying to do it so you can see it. Maybe I'll do it from the downside here. There you go. And you put it in, and I should have done this from the get-go, and then it won't turn, and it's not grabbing. And so then you know that it doesn't go all the way in, it's not turning, then you know that you have the proper headspace because you've done both of them. And I'm going to demonstrate this again with the go gauge as I drop stuff on the floor. By the way, don't drop these on the floor because they are precision pieces of machinery and you don't want to bugger them up. So I'm going to do it the other way here. So fins line up with the grooves in here, and the extractor at 1 o'clock, and you want to imitate the bolt. Okay, there you go. And then over and out it comes. And you can see this will pull on this. And you know, maybe some people say, well, that's going to gouge up your your go gauge. Or I don't think so. I mean, they're hardened. All right, so that is doing the checking the headspace on the barrel. Real quick, I have it set up in a vise, obviously with a towel on it to kind of protect its finish. This is where I'm going to be doing the majority of my build, is right here at this vise. If you're going to do an AR build, one of the things I recommend is an AR block. Okay, they really make it easy for doing it. And also, one of the other things, while I have the barrel here, I don't have the receiver in front of you, but one of the things that you're going to want to use when you attach the barrel to the receiver with the barrel nut, you want to use some Moly fortified multi-purpose grease. And again, people have their different opinions on what's better to use on those threads. And the reason why you're going to be using this is because you're going to be putting two different or unlike metals together. So you don't want to have a galvanic response. And also, you know, it's almost like anti-seize too, if you want to look at it in that way. All right, so that is a quick overall of the headspace.